Hello and happy Catterday, everyone. Welcome back. We've got a new phase of training today, and we're going down to the 10 by 3 with a little bit more weight on each exercise. So for today, it was incline bench as well as T-bar row, but there are a few things to note about it. Now, I got to the gym later than I was expecting to. I still got there somewhat in the morning, kind of borderlining afternoon, but I got there and decided to go with an incline treadmill walk for the warm up. So a quarter mile, 3 minutes 48 seconds at 4% incline, 4 miles per hour, which is what I always do. That's kind of like my default. And then I went to, or at least I should say, towards the incline bench, but it was actually being used. So instead, I decided to do some opening exercises, some band pull aparts, some different exercises to open up at the shoulders, as not something that I usually need to do, but I just figured I have some time to kill. I think the T-bar row station was being used, so I had to just kind of improvise a little bit, and so just did a few things like arm circles and some different stretches before getting to the incline bench. Now, once I started bench pressing, I did a set of 10 with 135, and then a set of 6 with 205. I knew I was going to include a set with 205, but I thought I would do 185, and honestly, the reason why I didn't do 185 was just because there were no 25-pound plates around or nearby, so I just jumped to 205 for 6, and then here we have the 10 by 3 with 220 pounds, which isn't bad for triples, especially for me, and considering the volume, that's where there would be any kind of challenge. So really, with the reps, not a big deal. Everything felt pretty good, pretty comfortable. I did remember that since this is the other location, I have to get used to the different equipment, different benches, different bars. So this is a 20.4 kilo bar. It's a 45-pound bar, and it's so the diameter on the bar is a little bit different. It's a little bit bigger. So nothing bad. Just I had to remember right away as soon as I started warming up the difference in the way it felt. So, but all in all, a good incline bench day. I did put some nice pauses on the chest, and as the sets go on, you'll see longer and longer and longer pauses. Not necessary, but I figured why not? It was a good bench day, and so I took advantage of that and just decided to elongate the pause on the chest just for fun, just to have some good fun, and I just like doing that whenever possible. And then for the accessory, I went to a flat barbell bench press. Now, I felt like maybe, especially since it was raining outside, energy was kind of drained, focus wasn't quite there. But I thought, okay, well, maybe I'll just do some straight sets with 185. If I'm feeling good enough, maybe 205. Well, let's just say it didn't go that way. I did a set of 8 with 135, same as usual, set of 8 with 185, and then I went to 205 after that. When I moved 205, it went way easier than I was expecting it to. So as a result, I thought, hey, let's push it a bit. Let's do straight sets with 225 this time around. Last time it was a peak set. Let's do 3 sets straight across, sets of 8. Well, I honestly wasn't expecting to get all those reps. I was expecting to get a little bit of delineation, maybe go down a rep each set, so like 8, 7, 6. But I actually did 3 by 8 with 225 and pretty decent reps, very respectable reps, a stoppage on the chest before pressing back up. I did not think I was going to go that heavy on flat bench. I really was mentally prepared just to stay at like 185 or maybe peak at 205, but I actually was happy about that. My performance was actually better than I was anticipating. Also, there were some really, really well-built women around. Not a lot, just a few. And they were doing really good stuff, and that always helps. That always definitely gives me a bit more drive, a little bit more confidence. Maybe sometimes a little too much confidence, but it made me feel like, okay, I could probably push it a little bit today and do more than I was thinking that I was going to. Now, T-bar row. You probably have already noticed this is a different setup. This is an actual T-bar row station, so it's not just the landmine, but actually with the handles and the attachments and everything built in. So with this kind of setup, it's really different because, one, you get a different range of motion. As you can see, I'm elevated off the floor. Two, the handles are different. So I've been gripping the barbell itself using a landmine station. So with the T-bar station, it's quite different. And it's funny because I completely forgot that they also have a landmine station across the room. I totally forgot about it. If I had remembered that it was there, I would have used it. But this was kind of a nice way to give this a go. I've never really utilized the T-bar row station. I think once or twice, maybe, but I've never ever really went to it on a regular basis. So this was a nice experience. I think I might go back to the regular landmine station just because I want to be consistent. But don't get me wrong, this was a really good experience for me, utilizing the narrow grip, the neutral grip handle, and thankfully grip wasn't an issue. So with this one, I did a warm-up set of 10 with 95, warm-up set of 8 with 120, and this is the 10x3 with 165. And that went pretty well. For the very last exercise for the accessory on the row, I did a TRX row, and I did a 3x8 with that, just body weight. Alright y'all, thank you so much, and adopt, don't chop.